did this the Cowboy Vittles way. Welcome back to another edition of Cowboy Vittles, a place that you can call home, a place you can learn some delicious recipes, a place that you can learn to do things with your family and carry on the tradition of cooking with your own children. Now, today we're going to go ahead and make up some homemade chorizo because you know what? I'm kind of a cheapskate. I don't like to buy that pre-packaged stuff out of the store where it costs me an arm and a leg. Plus it has all them preservatives in it. I know with what I'm doing, it's all natural. And it's done the old-fashioned way. Now, let me show you what we're going to need here today. Now, I don't particularly like using these newfangled electrical products because, let's face it, I'm kind of an old fart. I like the way things were done back in the day. But, for this purpose, we're going to use an electric blender because we will need that. And I do have my hot plate here because I had to boil up some water and I didn't feel like I wanted to have it in one room on the stove top and I can keep everything together. Now we're also going to need some ingredients here. You need your 1 teaspoon of salt. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of oregano. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of cumin. You're going to need your 5 cloves of garlic, and we've got our vinegar here because you're going to need about 2 tablespoons of that. Now we've got, just basically 1/4 cup of water because we don't know if we need to add a little bit into the mixture. Now we're also going to use, a lot of folks don't do this, but we're going to add 2 teaspoons of chili pepper into our mix. And then obviously you want 1 tablespoon of pepper. So what we're going to do here now, there is one last thing. As I told you, I don't normally like to use a lot of these modern gadgets. Let me show you something here. Oh, and there is one other thing. We need our chili peppers. Because what we're going to do, remember I said I have that water boiling on the table here? We're going to go ahead and we're going to de-stem these, take out all the seeds because we don't want too much heat and stuff. And we're going to put them in this boiling water. Fact is, right now, I go ahead and turn it off. Don't need that anymore because the water's already boiling. But we're going to go ahead and get them nice and pliable and rubbery type thing. But here's the other thing. I got my meat grinder. This is what we're going to use to chop up our meat. A lot of folks, they like to spend $150 on these meat grinders and stuff, the electrical kind. I ain't spending $150 for the darn things. Not when I can do it myself. So let's get started here, folks. Let's go ahead and get this chunk of meat, which is about 2 1/3 pounds of pork. Let's kick that out of the way. What we're going to do, let's start slicing this down a little bit because obviously you can't put the whole thing through there. We're going to slice it down into about 1-inch chunks. And we'll show you how to do this. And yes, I'm wearing my manly apron today. My wife thinks it's funny because I'm old and I ain't got that body no more, but she thinks with my apron, she tries to imagine what it was like years ago with me. Alright, almost done there. And I know I'm going to cut my finger off again. Oop, yeah, see, almost did that. And I know anyone who cooks a lot, if you have sharp knives, or especially even dull knives, you cut yourself quite often. Now, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Now I got my little bowl here and I'm Actually, give me one moment. Let me get another pan because I know there's going to be a lot of meat for this little bowl here. What'd I do with it? Oh, there it is. Now I'm going to set this bowl over here because I'm going to be dumping that meat and all the other ingredients into it as I mix it. Let's get this thing going. There we go, that's coming along just fine. And you're going to see how this works really well. Get that going down there. And you know the nice part about these old meat grinders? Number one, you don't have to worry about electricity. Let's throw some more meat in here. And no, I didn't worry about cutting off the fat because you know what? Chorizo is meant to have a little bit of it. But look at that. Doesn't that look good? Now, you know the nice thing about chorizo, in which I'll show you this coming weekend? We're going to make some breakfast burritos, and I'm going to show you how we do it the old-fashioned way with the scrambled eggs, the homemade tortillas, and everything else. Well, since I'm doing all this stuff here, you know I like to sing a little bit when I'm cooking. So I got a new version of an old song that I remember from the 60s. A great country and western singer named Charlie Pride. Sun drip, and I do my own version of it, by the way, when I'm cooking, because I like to have fun with it. Sun beaming off of the top of my hat, it sure is hot today. Think I'll just stay inside for now, make chorizo my way. And I know I got a rough voice, by the way, but that's all right. I have fun with it. And my wife laughs at me every time I cook because she never knows what's going to come out of my lips. She never knows, well, I'm going to butcher a song. She never knows what kind of recipe I'm going to come up with. But, you know what? That's part of marriage. We never know what to expect. And my dog, she's always laying there by my feet, thinking, okay, drop something. It's mine. Okay, we took a little bit of a break because I didn't think you wanted to watch me sit there and hand crank all this meat. Now, here's the thing, is that when you're doing your meat and stuff in the grinder, if it's not partly frozen, it's going to take a little bit longer. Now, I'm down to my last chunk and stuff. What we're going to do while this is getting done, we're going to take these peppers. These are New Mexico chili peppers. We're going to pop them puppies open. Now, like I say, I don't like a lot of seeds in mine because it makes them hotter, and my family don't like super hot stuff anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to get these seeds out of here. Now, I've got my pot of hot water and stuff. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. There we go. As you can see, them seeds are coming right out of there. Now we'll leave a couple of them in, but not a ton of them. We're going to throw that into the pot of hot water that I've got prepared. Let's go ahead and we're going to do about 5 of these. Because like I say, I mean, depending on how much meat you've got, how much chorizo you plan to make, is going to depend upon how many of these chili peppers. Nene, you got a heck of a mess that you're going to clean up because them seeds are going all over. Let's go ahead and get these going. Let's get these seeds shook out of there. We don't need them. Not unless you like really hot, spicy foods. Alright, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to boil these puppies up until they're pliable. And then remember all the other ingredients that we've got going? We're going to throw them into that blender. This is my handy dandy little blender, the electric gadget that I don't like. We're just going to go ahead and take that off. Let's pop these puppies in here. Then we're going to go ahead and take our salt. Let's throw that in there. Let's go ahead and take our oregano. Throw that in there. Now let's go ahead and throw in our cumin, because we gotta have that. Throw that in there. And my wife's giggling her butt off at me because she don't know how to take my cooking at times, but she sure likes it. Now let's go ahead and throw in our chopped up garlic and stuff. Throw that in there. Now we're gonna take our little bit of vinegar, our 2 tablespoons. We're gonna throw that in there. Guess what? A lot of folks, as I mentioned, they don't like to put chili powder into their recipes. I do. I like the authentic stuff. So let's put that in there. Get that out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our pepper. There it is. Now what we're going to do is we've got our 1/4 cup of water, because we're probably going to need that. Now this is going to get noisy, folks, so be ready for an ear blaster. If I can get this thing going, because like I say, I don't like these all these electric gadgets. Nene, I think it's this one here. I ain't got my spectacles on. Can you tell me which one? Is it this one? That one? No? This one? Okay, let's get her going. Let's rock and roll. It ain't working. What in the world is going on with this thing? Now this is going to get just a little bit noisy as we go ahead and puree this stuff into our sauce. So give me just a few moments. My dog just got her ears perked up. She's going like, what in the heck is going on here? Alright, let's go ahead and throw in a little bit of water. I can already see where I'm going to throw in a portion of that water. Before I threw that water in there because it was getting like splattered on my face. Yes, my wife will have to wash my shirt again. Looks like we're going to have to do that again. I like the sound of this thing. And my dog's tail is just going. And her ears are like this. She's like, what in the world is going on? What's that noise? Well, while that's going, what we're going to do now, remember, get her done. Stop these things. There we go. Whew. I tell you what, man, I don't like these loud noises. That's why I like them old-fashioned hand crank things, because it ain't so noisy. By golly, I tell you what. Okay, let's get this. Get that stuff off the cap there. Now, you remember that pork that we went ahead and hand cranked out? Well, there's 2 1/3 pounds. We're going to throw it in here. See here, take a look at that. Doesn't that look good? And we can use the same stuff, which I'll do a different batch for our pork sausage patties. Now let's go ahead and throw this in here. If it'll come out. There we go. Now it don't look like a heck of a lot. But let's get all that in there. But for folks that aren't, I need a little bit more. Come on, shake it out, shake it out. I need that. There we go. I got a little bit more out. Let's see if I can get a little bit more. Hope that my dog is sitting there looking like, ooh, crap. Sorry, honey, I almost broke your bowl. All right. Holy. All right. Now that doesn't look like a lot of sauce in here for a couple of pounds of meat, but watch what happens when I go ahead and start squishing this up. Because you don't want this stuff so heavy that it, goes crazy on you. We're gonna mix this all around. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this in a Ziploc. My wife's about as anal as I am. She insists on marking the bags, even though it ain't gonna last long enough. Yep. This is gonna be some good stuff. This is gonna be some good grubbing. I'm looking forward to them breakfast burritos. Good, my hands are all. Now, This is gonna be interesting because my hands are all, with these gloves on, they're all full of this chorizo meat. Okay, well, my wife can go ahead and clean the bags off afterwards. But if you'll notice, she marked the chorizo and she put the date on it of when we've done it. Crud. Okay. Nene, you could open them up for me beforehand. This is fun. If we weren't videotaping, I'd have her as a second set of hands. Okay. That looks full enough. Now we're going to go ahead and put in these Ziploc bags, and I know some folks will go ahead and do the vacuum sealers, and I've had them over the years. They're awful handy when you have that upright freezer and stuff and you want to store meat for months at a time. But here's what we're looking at. We'll have this gone between this Sunday and next weekend and stuff, because we're going to be eating some serious breakfast burritos. Alright folks, I know my hands are a little bit dirty, but I got my gloves on. But this is our final product and such. It don't look like much, but that's 2 1/3 pounds worth of pork chorizo and stuff. And it's only going to last us for a couple of meals. What we're going to do is as I mentioned, we're going to put it in the fridge. We're going to let it gel together, get it, the flavors blending together, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to throw in our eggs, and we're going to go ahead and make some breakfast burritos. We're going to show you the way us Westerners cook and stuff. The Cowboy Vittles way. If you like what we've done here today, click on the like button. Follow us on social media. And subscribe to our channel, because we're going to be here for you and stuff. And we're going to be bringing you a whole lot more recipes that you're going to enjoy. Get back to the basics, folks. In the meantime, Cowboy Vittles. Come and get them.